Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I tell you, folks, I was sitting in my favorite chair the other day with a cold drink in my hand when General Hospital threw me another curveball that had me leaning forward like it was the Super Bowl. Man, these Quartermain folks sure know how to stir up trouble. I couldn't believe my eyes when Tracy stepped in to help Brook with little Phoebe. That sweet baby girl has Brook wrapped around her finger. She's been calling herself the mama and fighting tooth and nail to adopt her. But here's the part that really got me. Ethan Lovett finally opened up to Alexis about being the real daddy. Turns out Phoebe is his daughter with Delilah Wilson, God rest her soul. My heart just about broke for the guy. Ethan, bless his heart, decided to step back quietly. He told Alexis he's given up his rights so Brook, Lynn, and Chase can raise that little angel in peace. He genuinely believes they're going to be wonderful parents. I was nodding along thinking, now that's a stand-up man right there, putting the child's happiness first. But oh boy, if he only knew what's really going on behind those fancy Quartermain doors. See, Ethan has no idea the marriage between Brook, Lynn, and Chase is hitting some real rough patches, all thanks to that sneaky Willow Kane stirring the pot. And don't even get me started on Michael Corinthos working things from the shadows, setting up all kinds of underhanded dealings. It just makes my blood boil a little, you know? Here's this decent fella ready to do the right thing, and the whole situation feels like it's built on shaky ground. I've been watching this show for years, and let me tell you, these kinds of secrets never stay buried for long in Port Charles. My guess is when Ethan finds out the truth about Brooklyn's little plan with Tracy's help, it's looking a lot like a straight-up kidnapping in fancy clothes. His heart's going to be shattered. Poor guy already lost so much. It makes you wonder if anyone in that town can just be honest for once. Whew, I'm telling you, my wife keeps catching me talking back to the TV like these are my own neighbors. That's how real it feels sometimes. What do y'all think's going to happen next? I'm already counting down the days till the next episode. I tell you, the deeper I get into this General Hospital storyline, the more it feels like watching a real-life family drama unfold right in my own living room. That Michael Corinthos, oh man, that boy is something else. He's always been the type to work behind the scenes, pulling strings like some puppet master, and right now he's got his eyes set on stirring up even more trouble for Brook. You see, if that marriage between Brook and Chase starts crumbling, and with Willow whispering in ears and causing all kinds of heartache, it sure looks like it's heading straight for the rocks, then this whole adoption plan for little Phoebe could fall apart faster than a house of cards in a windstorm. I sat there shaking my head thinking, Lord have mercy, that sweet baby girl don't deserve any of this mess. She's already been through so much, losing her mama, and now the grown folks around her are making everything so complicated. But here's the part that really makes my blood run cold. Michael knows something big, something that could destroy everything Brooklyn's been fighting for. Turns out he knows she was the one driving in that terrible hit-and-run accident that hurt Jordan Ashford so badly. Folks around Port Charles have been calling poor Jordan the Elephant Woman ever since, and it just breaks my heart. If Michael decides he's had enough and spills the beans, Brook could find herself in handcuffs, charged with driving under the influence and leaving the scene of an accident. Can you imagine? 1 minute she's holding that precious little girl, dreaming of being her mama forever, and the next she could be losing it all because of her past mistakes coming back to haunt her. I keep thinking about how Brook has always been the kind of gal who acts first and thinks later. She's got that fiery Quartermain spirit running through her veins, you know? But this time, that impulsiveness might just cost her everything she holds dear. If she starts feeling the walls closing in and panics, I wouldn't be one bit surprised if she grabs Phoebe and tries to run. Just pack up and disappear to keep that baby safe in her arms. It scares me a little, honestly, because running away rarely solves anything. It usually just makes the storm hit harder when it finally catches up. And who's standing right there with her, ready to help make it happen? None other than Tracy Quartermain herself. That woman is as tough as an old oak tree and twice as determined. She wants Brook to have her own family so badly that she's already pointing fingers at Chase, accusing him of stepping out and causing all the trouble in their marriage. I bet my last dollar that Tracy would load up the car herself if it came down to it, helping Brook slip away with Phoebe and start fresh somewhere far from Port Charles. Tracy's always been the one who protects her own, no matter what it takes. Whew, it just makes me lean back in my chair and let out a big sigh. On one side, you've got Ethan, that decent fella quietly given up his rights because he truly believes Brook, Lynn, and Chase would give Phoebe the best life possible. And on the other side, everything's built on shaky secrets and half-truths. It feels so real sometimes, like these characters are my own neighbors down the street. You can't help but root for that little girl to find a happy, stable home, but the way things are going, it sure looks like more heartbreak might be coming. I've been watching soaps long enough to know that secrets like these don't stay hidden forever in a town like Port Charles. The truth always has a way of slipping out at the worst possible moment. My heart's heavy thinking about whether Brook Lynn is going to end up losing Phoebe after all this fighting and skimming. It reminds me of that old saying my grandpa used to tell me, "The road to hell is paved with good intentions." She means well, but these shortcuts and cover-ups might just break her heart in the end. I'm glued to the screen every day now, wondering how this is all going to play out. These stories get under your skin, don't they? They make you care about these folks like they're family. I tell you, the more this General Hospital story unfolds, the more I find myself scratching my head over Tracy Quartermain. That woman is about as unpredictable as a summer storm in Port Charles. One minute, she's sharp as a tack, protecting her family like a mama bear, and the next, she's cooking up schemes that make your jaw drop. If things keep heading this way, and Brook Lynn feels cornered, I don't doubt for a second that Tracy would step right in and arrange for her to disappear with little Phoebe. She'd probably have a bag packed, a car waiting, and a plan to get them far away from Chase and all the drama. But bless her heart, I keep thinking it just won't work in the long run. Running away with a baby like that? Secrets and lies have a way of catching up to you, no matter how clever you think you are. It might buy some time, but it sure ain't gonna build the stable, loving home that sweet Phoebe deserves. I've seen enough of life to know that kind of shortcut usually leads to even bigger heartaches down the road. Now, here's what really tugs at my heartstrings. If Brook Lynn actually grabs Phoebe and takes off with Tracy's help, do you think Ethan would finally spill the truth to Tracy? That poor fella's already carrying such a heavy load, giving up his rights because he believes it's best for his daughter. But if he sees Brook Lynn running with his little girl, I bet he'd feel torn up inside. Confessing everything to Tracy would stir the pot even more and leave her scratching her head, wondering how to handle Ethan's tough spot. After all, Tracy loves that boy like he's her own flesh and blood. He's her husband's son, and she'd never want to hurt him. She's got that big Quartermain heart under all that toughness, you know. It would put her in one heck of a bind, torn between helping Brook Lynn and protecting Ethan. Whew, watching all this unfold week after week reminds me why I've stuck with this show for so long. These characters feel like old neighbors, flawed, complicated, but you can't help rooting for them to find a little happiness. My heart's with that precious baby girl most of all. I sure hope the writers give her the stable home she needs, even if it means a few more twists and turns along the way. I'm already pouring another cup of coffee and getting ready for whatever comes next. These stories sure do keep life interesting, don't they?